Today let's do data file handling, and I will teach how to write data into a file. So basically we are going to do a program in which I'll be writing some data into a file. So how we are going to do that, right? So first I'll put down the steps in simple English, and then we will proceed with the program, right? First of all, we have to declare the output stream. I have to write the data into a file, means it will be an output stream. Fine. Then we have to attach the output file in which the data is to be written, right? We have to attach the output file to the output stream. Fine. Then whatever data is to be input into the file, that is either accepted by the user or it comes from some other source, whatever it is, that is written into the file. Finally, if we want to display the data, that can be done, or else we close the stream, right? Now I am just taking up writing data into a file. So displaying data from a file will take up later. So first of all, try to understand how data is written into a file. Okay. Okay, now let's write this program. Hash include iostream.h. Then I have hash include fstream.h. Okay. So when we include this fstream.h, we get all the streams like output stream, input streams, and all such streams, right? Okay. Okay. Now the main function. Inside the main function, first task is to open an object of the output stream class. So off stream, right? Off stream file1. File1 is the name of the object. You can give any name you want, right? Now I have to open this object, that is file1.open, and we have to associate this with the name of the file. So I call my file as employee.dat, and then you have to give the mode in which the file has to be opened. So here I am saying file1.open employee.dat and ios out. That means the file 1, that is the output stream object, has been associated with the file employee.dat, and that file has been opened in the output mode. That means it is meant for writing, right? Okay. Okay. Now since I have to input data into this file, I'm going to use a loop here. So I take a variable ans and put it as equal to y, right? Now what all data we want to enter, right? I say int emp number. Fine. And let's say I want to put the salary of the employee and int department number, something like this, right? Okay, now for entering I use a while loop. While ans, that is answer, right, is equal to y, small y, or answer is equal to capital Y. So whether the user enters a small y or a capital Y, the loop will keep on running. If you enter something else other than y, the loop will stop, right? Okay. Now we want the user to enter the data. So I write enter employee number. Fine. Enter employee number. the user enters the employee number that is put in this variable emp number that you have taken above. Then we have cout enter the salary handle, and here we have cin salary, right? Okay. I'll write the remaining part on the same page so that it's easier for you to understand here. Then you have cout enter the department number. We have taken the department number as int only here. So cin um, department number. So department number, you can prompt the user something like enter the department number. Department number should be between 1 and 10, something like that, so that the user comes to know which are the valid departments, right? Once these things have been accepted into these variables, now the data that you want to write into the file is available inside the variable emp number salary department number, right? The basic task now is we have to write these values into the employee file, the employee.dat file, right? Now till now we have been using only cin and cout. I'll just explain this concept here. See, when we write cin and cout, right? This basically means console input and console output, right? Now, when you say console here, console is basically your keyboard, right? So when we say cin, we are basically saying accept the input from the console, that is the keyboard. Okay. Same way cout. Now when we say cout here, that console, the default console is the monitor, right? So whenever you write cout something, that comes as a display on the monitor. But now we have to use, instead of cin and cout, right? See, basically this cout is for writing to the console. Okay, let's try to understand it like this. Cout is for writing to the console, right? But now I want to write to the file. So now our task is, instead of writing to the console, that is the monitor, we have to write the data to the file. Now this file is employee.dat, and this file is associated with a stream which is file1, right, of stream. When we say cin cout, the cin is basically your input stream. This is cout is the output stream. Like we write this header file which is iostream.h, right? iostream.h input output stream. So cin is associated with the input stream, cout is associated with the output stream. But now I want to use the object that we created, that is file1, right? And this file1 is associated with your offstream. File1 is associated with this employee.dat through the offstream. Okay. Now in the same way, instead of using this cout, I'm going to use something like this. See, file1 is the object, right, that is associated with the output stream. Now the operator for writing is this two less than signs, and then we will write emp number like this. So what this means is, this means whatever you are writing here, that is this emp number which I have put here, this emp number is taken to this particular location. This is file1. And what is file1? File1 is nothing but this employee.dat. right? So understood? So you have to understand it like this. Supposing I write C out like this and I say hello, right? This is basically a string which I want to write to the monitor. Fine. So hello in this case is taken to the console, right? The monitor. Same way here, this emp number, whatever value is there inside this emp number is a variable, right? So whatever value is there inside this emp number, that is taken into file 1, that is put into file 1. Okay, and this file 1 is associated with employee.dat. So of the data emp number, supposing I write 1001 in my emp number, that is written inside my employee.dat like this. Okay, now I'll go back to the program and here I'll write, see, um, file 1. Okay, you have to use the same operator that comes with cout, right? File 1 emp number. If you want, you put an endl after that, right? File 1, the second one is salary, then you put endl like this. File 1 and then you write department number, endl. So all these three variables are now taken into the file employee.dat, right? The same thing, if I want to write all this in the same line instead of writing it, because when I put endl, it comes to the next line, right? Okay, so I'll show you one alternative here. This, either you can write like this or you can write something like this: file 1 emp number, then you give a space like this, and then again you write salary, then again some space, and then you write department number, then you put a endl. I'm putting it in the next line here like this, right? So if we use the second case that I have put here, then the whole data will be the data for one employee will be written in one line, and then it comes to the next line. Otherwise, this will write the emp number, then next line it will write the salary, then department number, right? It will be like that. Okay, now let's come back to this. Now you have accepted the details of the employee and you have put it into the, actually here it should be file 1, right? I have written file here, it is file 1. Here this is file 1 like this. Okay, right. Now you have done it for one employee. Since you have put it inside a loop, you will write like this: cout. Do you want to continue? Right? Endl. And the user is going to accept the choice in the variable ans. Fine. The loop is closed here. So when the loop is closed here, this takes me to this point again, right? This is your loop. Fine. While ans is equal to y, or ans is equal to capital Y. So if the user enters Y, then again this process will be repeated for the second employee. So the second employee's data will go into the file. Then the third one, this way it will continue. So when the user doesn't want to continue, he has to put some other alphabet other than Y, right? So you enter a no or n or a or b or c. So if you don't enter a y, the loop will stop. Okay. So once this process is completed, after that you have to close the object of the offstream class. So here I'll write file1 dot close, right? And then finally return 0. That is the end of the program. Okay. So the program as such is not a lengthy one. It's a very small program with very few lines of code. The important thing to understand here is this part, the one which I have put here, this and this. So basically how to write something into the file, how to write the variables, value of the variables into the file. That's what you have to understand over here. Okay, so that concept I have tried to make this clear by using your C in C out, which is the normal things you have been using, right? So the same way, instead of C out, now it is file1. File1 is the output stream. Okay, so when you this means inside this particular file, now you will have data like this. 10 is the employee number, supposing the salary is 10,000, right? And I say the department number is 2. Fine. Now the next employee, right? Employee number, the salary is 20,000. Fine. And the department number is 2 again. So this way it is going to write down the data into the employee.dat file. This employee.dat file can be opened in the notepad and you can view the details. It will be there. Okay. So with that, I'll conclude the topic on writing data into a file. And in our next session, we will take up how to read data from a file. Okay, so this is the most simplest way in which a data can be written into a file. When we proceed further, we will look at how objects are written into a file, right? So first of all, you have to learn the basic things as to how the data variable value of the variables are written into a file using your normal um operators, that is the cout type operators. Fine. So with that, I come to the end of this topic for today. Bye.